Hello friends, hello. Welcome to Hummus Foodie Friday. My name is Jessica.
I'm Kenneth.
And today we thought it would be nice to make a dessert. We are going to make the best bread pudding with a Di Serrano Amaretto sauce. This is a recipe I had come by probably quite a few years ago, actually, when I was in North Carolina. And it quickly became a favorite of ours, and actually a favorite of a lot of our friends when we would get together and spend some time together. So
It's also a great holiday dessert recipe, so that's part of the reason we dug this one out.
it is actually. So I actually got this recipe from Paula Deen, and I can't remember the first time that I made it for you. I've made it a couple of times.
First time you made it for me wasn't in North Carolina.
Where was it at?
Fort Campbell.
Was it at Fort Campbell? Wow, way back then.
Yeah.
Way back then. The first time at Fort Campbell or the second time at Fort Campbell?
First time.
I made it in the first 9 months of our marriage?
I think so.
That'd be back in 2009. I've been married to this old fart that long.
Who are you calling an old fart?
I know, I'm an old lady now.
I keep looking at through Facebook, and I come across friends of mine from like high school and early in my career in the Army. I'm like,
Hey,
when
Terry.
the hell did we all get so old? What happened?
Most people don't really understand our relationship whatsoever.
That's fine. I don't
They
understand
don't.
them either.
Well, you guys, I am going to wash my hands. Just for those of an update, my burn is looking a little better. I have like a little Band-Aid on there that has medication on it that stays on for like 7 days. It looks weird and funky, but it looks good so far.
Yeah. I tell you, there are times when I don't know if I need to Jessica-proof the house. Because I'm not so worried about the girls doing stuff to hurt themselves. But if there's a way that she could possibly cause a minor injury to herself, this woman will figure it out. It's a quickness. I'm hesitant to see her around knives. And apparently I need to watch out when she's got like hair heating elements in her hands.
And it all began when I became pregnant with Isadora. That's when I became more accidental in doing stuff.
Sure, you can
I
tell
mean,
yourself
I would
that.
literally, no. But then again, I can trip over air. So, I can trip up the stairs when there's even nothing there. That's just, I think one time while I was pregnant, I had a knife in my hand and it just literally just fell out of my hand.
Yeah.
And I just threw back. So, he was so kind to cube up the bread while I was gone at work. So he is actually going to start making the sauce. So to make the sauce, we're going to mix 1 cup of granulated sugar. We're going to mix 1/2 cup of melted butter, which is actually one full stick of butter, 1 egg, and then there's going to be 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And this is actually a pure vanilla extract. It is not an imitation one, Daddy. How cool is that? That's probably why it costs so much, just for this little teeny bottle. If you never knew, imitation vanilla is not as expensive as pure vanilla. I can't get it open. I'm gonna have to use my teeth. That's the other thing. I can never get anything open. I need to get one of those like can openers. I'm at that point where I got to get a can opener to open up my cans, and one of those doohickey thingies to sit on top of a can to like open the lid. Yeah. I just don't have that coordination because of my arm now. But anyway, He's gonna mix that together right now until the sugar is melted, and that's when you add your amaretto sauce. The original part of the recipe is you actually put brandy in it. But we don't use brandy. We love Di Serrano, and Di Serrano is actually Mama's favorite alcoholic beverage, right? She was a fan of Di Serrano, and it took a long time for her to get through Di Serrano. It wasn't that she drank it all the time, but it was just really nice to just sit back and have a glass. I remember actually probably sitting on the back porch in Hopkinsville when we were at Fort Campbell, and I would prep a glass of Di Serrano for sugar here. And we had this ice cube that we would put water in. It's the Death Star. I have no idea where that is now. But it was a Death Star that you put water in and put it in the freezer and freeze it.
It was an ice mold to make a sphere, which is very popular for putting in whiskeys and that kind of thing, because it gives a good surface area, cools it down, but it's not like a bunch of cubes and stuff where it just melts and dilutes it. So those were, and she got that for me, of course, the Death Star, because, you know, sci-fi. Star Wars, Star Trek.
I have no idea where that is.
What? It's probably sitting with water in the freezer right now, and we just completely ignored it because it's got on the bottom of a bunch of things.
No, actually, I've not actually seen it since we moved, probably from North Carolina. But it's real easy to find those molds, which is really awesome. The lid on the vanilla is 1 teaspoon. Really? This little dinky thing right here is 1 teaspoon? That is awesome. I gotta try it right now. Oh my God.
Well, I'll be dipped in.
Hot damn.
Okay, now where am I going to put this?
You're just gonna sit there.
Goes in your butter.
It can go in the butter. Wow.
That's cool.
Thank you for that tip. Oh my gosh, that was great, Cheryl. That was great. Oh my God. But we miss our days. We miss our days back in Hoptown. We have some good friends. Hey, Alicia. That's where I actually met Alicia. We became like besties. Oh, you learned that the other day. Well, that is a really great tip, Cheryl. Thank you for sharing that. What, boo-boo?
Roger comes in when I say comes out. There's one time.
Yeah. All right. Can you help? Well, we got to move this if you're going to help. Okay, we got to move the drink.
Well, I know the perfect thing for her to do.
You need to, yes. You want to go crack eggs and then Daddy makes sure we don't get shells in? Okay. Make sure to get your stuffy stool. Okay. Just be careful. Little bit wants to come and help. So the bread. This bread, Kenneth actually went and got. It is a full French loaf of bread. I think Isidore may have stolen a few pieces. We have to keep all fresh bread away from Dodger because he's got to get this all the time. But what he did is he cubed it, and then what you're supposed to do, he did this last night, and then what you're supposed to do is just let it sit out and kind of get stale overnight. So that's how you do that part. So now that we have that together, Freya right now, she is cracking some eggs. We've been getting her into the kitchen and teaching her how to cook a little bit. So we really work on that.
No, it's in this one, right?
Go ahead and talk, Freya.
So we got 5. How many?
Oh,
Tell them what you're doing.
I was cracking 5 eggs.
5 eggs. Did we get shells in?
Nope.
How'd we do?
She did very, very well.
Hold on.
Ow.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
No.
I'm pulling her hair back real quick.
Mommy, don't forget these little ones.
I'm sorry.
Well, can I go wash my hands?
Okay, yes.
What are you doing?
You can wash your hands while I pull back your hair. Your hair is growing so quick.
So, I'm just keeping an eye on this while I've got the sauce going over here.
Again?
Yes, I had to wash my hands because I touched your hair.
Mommy, there's still some more pecans.
Well, I'm not going to be able to get it all, boo-boo. All right. Okay. So I got to stand over here because the sun is really shining in. So what I do is I mix 2 cups of granulated sugar, okay, with my 5 eggs.
I want to do it, Mommy. I want to do
Well,
it.
I got to get milk too. She's going to.
Yes, but before you put the sugar, you got to beat the eggs.
Oh, I want to do it, Mom. Daddy, I want to do
No,
it.
I don't.
Yes,
5
you-
eggs and milk in a bowl.
Daddy, I want to do it.
All right.
Okay. We're going to need the other one. All right, we
Sure,
got our
take the one
sugar
I'm
in there.
Can
Huh?
I mix it?
Sure, take the one I'm using.
And then we need some milk. Do you want to get the milk? 2 cups of milk. We need 2 cups of milk here.
I want to mix.
You get the milk?
Then I can mix.
This is apparently a whole family affair today, you guys.
Oh,
So,
big fat jug of milk.
so you would probably laugh at this last night. I don't know how we got talking about this. How did we get talking about this last night, babe?
Well, if I
We
do
were
like
we
this
were talking
right-
about TRICARE Prime
Oh,
on my way home.
the
right,
school wanted us to sign
Oh.
a form.
Yes. Okay. So we recently had a meeting with the school for Freya for her advanced learning things that she needs assistance with, and they were going to. You have to come over here.
What does have Perry got to do?
Well, we can move Perry.
But this is my spot.
No, we'll move Perry. We'll move Perry to here. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not having
Okay.
a great time with
It's
them.
okay.
Perry's
Um,
not happy.
And so for the meeting that we had for her, they wanted us to fill out a form for Medicaid. And I'm like, we don't need Medicaid for Freya because we're TRICARE Prime. When my husband retired from the military, he medically, okay, be careful. It's okay. He medically retired from the military, which means
Right here for life.
TRICARE for life. And I told him that if something ever happened to him before me in this life, that I was never getting remarried because I am not losing my TRICARE Prime for myself and for my family, because if I were to get remarried, that would no longer be on the table. And what was it you said? I think he was talking about if I were dating somebody, one of the first questions would be, do you have TRICARE Prime? And if they said no, okay, see ya, bye.
Be like speed dating. Right here. Nope, bye.
I just cracked up laughing. Okay, you got it like this? You got it?
Okay.
I know. Just be careful.
Oh my
So
God,
I
this
just
stuff
laughed.
smells
I
so
told
good.
him, I said, no, I highly doubt I would get married. I would just have a sugar daddy, but never commit. That's probably what I would do.
And that's when I damn near spit my drink all over my computer.
Because he knows that is totally not me.
I want
No.
I want this one.
No, we gotta wait. Okay, so we mixed 2 cups of sugar, 5 eggs and milk in a bowl. And, we did, well, hold on. 2 cups of granulated sugar, 5 eggs and milk in a bowl. Add your 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
It's almost like we're making pancakes.
Yeah.
You only need one more.
Well, no, because the butter is over here, and the butter is actually for the brown sugar, so we'll just do 1 in here. And
No, just put two in there.
Oh, Dodger's in drinking the kitty's water because he has no water. I'm like, what is that sound?
I'm like trying to figure out what, I'm like,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I got distracted. All of a sudden, I hear lapping of water, and I'm like, and it's not coming from his food dish. It was coming from our bedroom, him drinking the kitty's water.
Not now. I
No.
slapped some on my chin.
Okay. So we're gonna mix that up. Now we got our vanilla in there. So now what you have to do, you have to pour this over. Your hands are clean, right?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes. I want one. Can I have one?
No, you can't. You can't have the bread, honey.
no.
No, you're gonna mix it with your hands.
You're going to stick your hands into this goopy mess and mix it all up.
And tell me how the texture feels.
Okay.
All right.
But
Okay. So your hands are clean. Just be very careful.
It's so goofy.
So what we got to do, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the bread gets coated with all of your liquid. Terry says, thank you for your service. This light. I gotta fix the bright light here for a minute, you guys. There.
It's so cold.
Terry says, thank you for your service in the military, sir. Hey, Glenda.
Mom, Daddy, can you
Hope you're doing better. Yes, I am doing better, Cheryl. It looks so much better. A family that cooks together stays together. Oh, Miss Terry says, hi, Freya.
Hey, you don't know my name.
because mommy talks about you all the time.
Oh, Miss Alicia, Auntie Alicia, she says hi.
Hi.
Hey, gorgeous! You know who that is if I'm saying that.
So cold.
That was a really great tip. I love that tip, Cheryl.
After
Let's-
this and
There
after
we go.
dinner, I'm taking a bath because it's so cold.
That's okay. I know. Okay.
There's your baking
Ah.
thing.
so cold.
My baking dish, perfect. Okay, so now in another bowl,
sounds-
we're gonna
this is
mix
so
and crumble
hard.
together the brown sugar.
I want to stop, but it's
I mean,
so.
brown sugar wasn't supposed to go in the other thing?
I
No.
want to stop this.
Well, it
cold.
did.
I want to stop. I want to.
Did you add the Di Serrano yet?
Yep.
Oh.
I want to stop, but it feels so good, but it feels so cold.
Oops.
Oh my, oh my. Oh, that's okay. Tastes good. So we need one cup, babe. 1 cup of brown sugar.
Okay, right.
Okay, are you done?
No, I want to keep
Oh,
mixing.
you want to keep mixing? Just be careful not to smush the bread.
I accidentally squished one bread and 2 breads.
Well, be careful, because what it has to do is it has to soak for about 10 minutes.
So I gotta keep going for 10 minutes.
No, you just had to mix it up really well.
So this is a recipe that we actually took to our rituals a
I
lot.
actually want to stay here for 10 minutes.
We really love this around the holiday time, usually Yule. We don't celebrate Christmas in our family here. We celebrate Yule. If you're not familiar with Yule happens usually December 20th or 21st.
Winter solstice.
It's the winter solstice, so we'll be celebrating our Yule time on the 21st, and on the 20th,
Mommy.
on the 20th of December
On the
is
20th of
actually
December,
Mother's
I'm
Night.
busy.
Yes. December 20th is Mother's Night, and I had no idea what Mother's Night was until I met you, and he likes to have me sit back,
A big
relax. Careful.
a big part
Okay, don't
of
just let it sit.
of
Just sits and soaks.
Mother's
Right.
Night is really
Yeah,
a
'cause
big-
I don't want her hands touching everything.
a big part of Mother's Night is honoring the mothers. It has to do with the rebirth of the sun the next day, so we're honoring mothers. we're honoring the mother aspect, the nurturing aspect, the day before. And typically on that day, we have a special meal that I make for her. It's chicken fried steak, homemade chicken fried steak.
Which I had no idea what that was until I met him.
Yeah. Is it chicken or is it steak? It's steak that's fried like you fry fried chicken. You'll see. And I made it, and she goes, okay, this is what I want for Mother's Night from now on. So apparently I did it right. But I also make the homemade gravy.
He usually does. Oh.
Where?
Sure, let's just make my stutter worse.
My tummy is rubbly.
No, I don't even know what
You were talking that the first time you made me chicken fried steak.
When I make the chicken fried steak, we make
really
homemade mashed potatoes and homemade gravy to go with it. And
sometimes we'll make some cornbread, but not always.
no, usually we don't make the cornbread. Usually we just have corn.
Do you want some pecans in this today?
Yeah.
It's calling for some pecans. I'm pretty sure that we have some fresh pecans in there. If I know for sure we have fresh walnut. I don't know. What's in the bag?
What's in
Check
the bag?
bags.
What's
Check
in the
the
bag?
bags. It's that's pecans. Yep, that's the one I want. I want fresh.
Okay.
I just got you these.
Okay.
I just got some fresh pecans for him. So you can add pecans to this. You can add whatever nut you can add whatever nut you want to your food. Okay. So be careful. So
Do we need to mush it up?
no, it's all mixed, because then what we're going to do, we're going to sprinkle that on top of that. We actually have to add some pecans in there. We're not going to do a whole lot, but just a few. Just a few for Daddy. She's looking at this like, you just ruined it.
It's just butter and sugar. Which
You
is
don't
the
have-
basis for caramel.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know about anybody else, but I have a bit of a sweet tooth, and one of my favorite
Why
things
did you do that to
is
my baby?
is caramel.
I love caramel.
Let's do it now.
You know what we should do sometime?
Love caramel. What?
Mama's pecan brittle.
Wait, I want to do it now. Can I do it?
So
Mommy?
also on Mother's Night, that's usually, not yet. Usually on Mother's Night, that's when we will have the girls open one gift. We'll usually watch like the Polar Express.
Or some other holiday themed movie.
Yes. But I have a different idea in my brain, because I gotta check the theaters, but there's a possibility, just so you know, like Santikos has the Polar Express and Frozen playing in the theater, so we may actually do that on the 20th during the day.
I want to bite it.
By the way, speaking of holiday movies, for those of you who have Netflix, there's a movie out called Jingle Jangle.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm telling you,
Mommy,
No.
this is probably one of the best holiday movies I have ever seen.
It was really good.
It had great musical numbers. The costuming was amazing. The costuming was kind of like a steampunk meets funk
And John
kind of
Legend.
thing. John Legend was involved with the music.
I can't move
Forrest Whitaker is in the movie. Felicia Rashad is in the movie. It was a great cast. It was a great story.
was
A lot of good lessons in it, and it was just a lot of fun. I mean, the music was the songs, everything. It was. I'm telling you, folks, if you don't have Netflix, find one of your friends who does,
I
and
died.
watch this, because this is one of the best movies of the holiday season for 2020. And the way this year has been going, we need something that's really powerful and uplifting And I'm telling you that this movie is definitely something that could bring a smile to your face and some joy to your house. So,
I downloaded the soundtrack right away. And you guys know that I love music. So we do need to turn on the oven, love, to 350. So now that we have that, I'm
done
going
that a little
to...
while ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have Freya. Freya might need a little bit of our help, but she's going to sprinkle that brown sugar on to... Oh my, we'll be here forever. She's gonna sprinkle. She's gonna sprinkle. See, when we're gonna sprinkle, okay? Just
There we go.
Like that. There you go. Good girl. Well, try to keep it in the pan. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
Try to keep it in the pan.
It's like kinetic sand, huh?
Does feel like that.
I want to mush on it all day.
You want to mush it all day?
Yes, it feels so like sand.
Well, it's not sand, it's sugar. It's a good thing you can't just absorb that through your skin, because you'd be hyper as hell right now. Really?
This is just brown sugar and butter, and so, yep. So.
It's caramel.
It feels so weird.
Okay, you can go wash your hands, or you can go lick your hands over there.
Yeah.
Now I'm waiting to see which one she does.
Should probably do both.
Yeah, she's waiting to wash her hands.
It's okay, because she's now on holiday break, so she doesn't have to take her medicine all the time.
Yes, she does.
She'll be good. She will for the daytime, not the half dose. She'll take her morning dose, but not afternoon.
Yeah.
So literally, this is all you do for it. Okay, you've got that bread cubed up. We've got the actual juice for the bread, and then sprinkle. And so this will then go into the oven for 30 to 45 minutes. He made the Amaretto sauce. With the Amaretto sauce, we did by accident put some brown sugar in it, but it's really good. And you taste the Amaretto in it. And what's really nice is when you cook with, which many of you know, some of you may not know, when you cook with alcohol, that alcohol will...
The majority of what
Go
the majority of the intoxicating effect of alcohol is cooked out, and you're left with just the flavors. Because alcohol has a very low vapor point, so as it gets hot, the alcohol goes away, but the stuff that was in the alcohol stays, so you have all the wonderful flavor without, you know. So, and some of you may be wondering, well, but what about that rum cake my grandma always eats and she gets tipsy off of? Well, that's because they pour the rum over the cake after the cake is done, so that rum doesn't get cooked off. So, I'm over here babbling because I'm the only one on camera. I feel left by
There you go.
myself.
I'm sorry, I had to take care of her.
Yeah, I know. I'm just over here because I'm
What else?
running out of...
Yeah, what else are we doing for the holidays? Well,
How many of you right now
Yeah.
are trying to figure out what to do with your dang refrigerator because you're thawing out a 20-something pound turkey in there?
I pulled out our 23-pound turkey today because, you know, you need a day for every 5 pounds. And
So we got the turkey thawing in there.
I went and got some groceries today, and I was not going to all of a sudden pack everything in the refrigerator without the turkey already in there, if you know what I mean. I had to adjust shelves. I had to adjust the shelves in our refrigerator just to get that turkey in there. We're going to have some mashed potatoes. Did you take a look at that stuffing recipe?
No.
Okay. I sent him a homemade stuffing recipe, so we're still kind of up in the air if we're going to make homemade or from a bag.
We
can't
don't
hold
do
it there.
stuffing because we don't stuff it in the bird.
Yeah, we don't do
We have
that.
dressing.
Stop.
What's
Sorry.
the difference? It's the same recipe. Is it cooked outside
Stop.
or inside the turkey? If it's outside, it's dressing. If it's inside, it's
Stop.
stuffing.
Get down, please. Well, see, I grew up with
or
the
maybe
turkey.
that's just me.
What's wrong with my face?
Settle down, please.
What's wrong with my face?
It's because of the sun. While I was growing up, we stuffed the turkey with stuffing, and that's what you ate. And when I met Kenneth, I was like, okay, so now we put the stuffing in the turkey, and he just about kind of almost came unglued, probably. He just gave me these big eyes. He's like, oh, absolutely not. No, mm-mm. I was like, what? This is how you do it? No, you don't.
You can.
And then he gave me the idea of, why would you eat that when you put it in a bird that was raw, and then you cook it and no.
For me, it's an aspect of cross contamination, and it's an aspect of making sure that your bird and stuff is completely cooked. Because as you stuff it, then now
Where's your tablet?
you have more that needs to get heated up for you. Make sure you get your proper internal temperature so that you know the bird's completely cooked. The other thing for me is that I have this whole cavity with the access to the meat, and why would I not want to stuff that with stuff to flavor the turkey as opposed to something else? Now, okay, yeah, I can see how the stuffing could help flavor it and everything else, but what I usually do is I chop up celery, carrots, onion, mix in some other dried herbs and stuff, make that all together.
Probably like some herbes de Provence.
Sage, herbs de Provence. But I stuff the bird with that, and then that is what is in there, and the whole purpose of that is just to flavor the bird. And typically we do ours in a roaster.
I get the big roaster out.
My brother Keith, I think, usually would fry his.
You put it in the big fryer.
He had a deep fryer, and
well, he cooked a lot of turkeys apparently for Thanksgiving.
yeah, he would cook a lot of
Christmas
turkeys
and all
because he was making sure that people that were stuck at work and stuff, they got turkey and stuff too.
At the ambulance bays and everything like
The
that.
fire departments, the
So
hospitals.
so we're determining if we're going to make homemade dressing, and if so, that's probably going to be me. The kicker here is that next Wednesday night I'm working at the hospital. I'm picking up Thanksgiving Eve night. When I work any type of holiday, I like to do the night shift, even though it messes with my circadian rhythm. Yeah. Circadian, thank you. Carcadian.
At least you didn't say Kevorkian. Then I'd be worried about sleeping next to you.
Circadian rhythm. So I'll come home Thanksgiving morning and go to bed. Typically we have Thanksgiving at lunchtime, but I have a feeling it's going to be later in the evening, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock, because he's going to want me to have a little bit of rest. So then when I get up, I can make the green bean casserole that he really loves. That was actually one of the favorite recipes of my grandfather's that I made. I always added pepper, and I never knew that was one of his favorites. So that's a really good memory for me, and the fact that my husband really loves the green bean casserole really warms my heart the way I make it.
Just remember, you can never put too many onions, of the crunchy onions, on top.
No.
It is impossible. I don't care if it's overflowing and falling into the bottom of the oven. You cannot put enough crunchy onions on top of green bean casserole, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't put a whole lot in there, but I always make sure to have extra on the side so he can add it to his personally. We'll make some homemade mashed potatoes. Do I have sour cream, or not sour cream, but
Were you going to try those little candy yam bites?
oh yeah, I was thinking about doing these candy yam bites where you get sweet potatoes and you slice them and you put some butter on them, and I think you cook them in the oven for just a little bit of time, and then you take them out and put a big marshmallow on it and flatten it down, and it's kind of like an
put
appetizer
a pecan or something
Yeah.
else. It was a recipe we saw. Daphne, I think, may have been the one that brought it to our attention. Either that or she was the one that favorited it first.
Yeah.
But
and then we saw it. I was like, ooh, because I'm the only one in this family that likes sweet potatoes. I love sweet potato fries. He only likes candied yams if they're really candied. So, which I know how to do.
If it's more candy than yam, then I'm good with it.
Yeah. I know how to make those. My grams taught me how.
I'm just not a big fan of sweet potatoes.
And I think this year we're not going to have any dessert like pumpkin pie doesn't fly in our house, period. My husband can't stand pumpkin. Isadora loves pumpkin pie, but she has to have Cool Whip with it. So I'm not doing apple pie or cherry pie.
Day at Walmart.
Normally I would try to maybe have a pecan pie in the house.
Yeah.
But we don't do that as often anymore. I'll bring home a slice of pecan pie for him just to kind of
give me a treat without letting me overindulge, because for the most part I'd be the only one eating a pecan pie. So we had a whole pecan pie that's just a whole pecan pie going, eat me! And
it would not be a good thing.
Would not be a good thing.
Yeah. But what we're going to probably do, if we don't have any leftovers of what we have tonight of our dessert here, if we don't have any leftover towards the end of the week, we'll actually make this for our dessert for the house, because it's that amazing, I'm telling you.
Disaronno.
Yes, it is very good. Well, what are we doing for Christmas? I don't think we really know what we're doing for Christmas right now, but we do for New Year, because I'm working all these extra hours at the hospital. We are going to treat ourselves for the first time. He has always wanted a prime rib, so we're going to get prime rib for New Year.
Since we've gotten the Traeger.
Since we got the Traeger, yeah.
I've always wanted a prime rib because I've got this wonderful smoker.
Smoke it all day.
And I've always, and let's face it, who doesn't, okay, unless you're a vegetarian, I'm not trying to offend anybody here, but if you're a carnivore, who doesn't like a good prime rib? Mm-hmm. So, I've always wanted to smoke a good size, not a little bit, you gotta have a decent size one. And let's face it, a decent sized prime rib ain't cheap. So,
I know Christmas time we're going to be making a family recipe of nannies.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nannies, I think it's Nanny's holiday.
No, it's just Nanny's fruit salad.
Fruit salad. We got to find the little green and red thingies, and Walmart has them.
When she's talking about green and red things, this is a fruit salad that had apples, it had oranges, it had raisins, it had the green and red things she's talking about are candied cherries, both green and red, and it had candied pineapple in it, some coconut, but this was my favorite thing of my grandmother's when I was a kid. And grandmothers being grandmothers, we'd go over for her house for the holiday meals. Mm-hmm. There'd be a whole extra butter tub full of extra fruit salad that she had made just so that I would have some to take home. She knew all of us, and it's just like she always managed to make extra potatoes for Kevin, because Kevin was a potato-eating fiend. But I'm trying to remember what she always made for Keith. I don't think Keith was as picky as Kevin and I.
Keith has a wide variety of likes.
But I do think that she typically would send a smaller thing of the fruit salad home for everybody else in the family. Yeah. But this is one of those things that from some of my earliest memories of my grandparents, this was something that I always looked forward to.
And I ran across this recipe when I was trying to find this recipe, and I was like, hey, I call him while he's upstairs, and I was like, hey, I found this recipe. Are we going to make this year? You're going to have to help me find those green and red things. Because last year I went to go find them, and I think they were like completely sold out at Walmart.
Either that or she wasn't looking in the right place.
Yeah, and so we really need to actually get some on hand right away this year.
Because let's face it, candied cherries is not something that is normally... It's only on holidays, because where do people use it? They use it in fruit salads. They use it in those fruit cakes that I'm not sure if anybody ever actually eats.
Yeah, I don't.
No, but as far as I have a holiday memory with the pecan praline and peanut brittle.
Yes. We can make peanut brittle over Christmas holiday with that.
And when I was deployed with the 2nd 320th Field Artillery Balls of the Eagle from the 101st Airborne Division, we were in Iraq. My mom and her friends got together and they made literally probably about 8-9 pounds of peanut brittle and pecan brittle and sent it to me.
You loved that. I think you should.
And my first sergeant, who's now a retired Sergeant Major Arroyo, he was like, Amish, you don't need to be eating all that, right? I was like, I've always been a bigger guy, so I had to watch what I was doing when I was in the Army. But I was like, well, honestly, Top Ed, she sent it to share with everybody. Oh, cool. Can I get some? So for like the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'd have like the senior NCOs of the battery were coming by going, knocking on my chew door. Hey, Amish, can I get some of that peanut brittle?
We haven't made peanut brittle in a while. We just have to get a candy thermometer.
Yeah, but I mean, it was one of those things like that was my mom. You know, I remember
Christmas time.
I remember that I forget what time of the year it was, but she also sent all the fixins for Frito pie.
Your Frito pie.
And
Fiesta time.
No, it was, I think it was around one of the big football games or something. I don't remember, but I remember going to the defect folks and be like, "Hey, look, I have all this stuff to make a Frito pie. I don't have any way to cook it." They're like, "Well, are you going to share?" I'm like, and then I showed them how much I had. I'm like, "Yes, this is to share." So they were more than happy to help whip it up and cook it up for us so that we could have it during one of those. Everybody's pretty much off unless they're on duty, kind of hanging out, watching some big event. I don't remember what it was, but that was my mom. She was a veteran herself. She was a Navy wife. She always supported the people who were out doing the job of protecting the country, and
she loved putting together all the packages.
Oh my goodness!
She loves Christmas time, and she lived and breathed for her grandkids. After her boys were grown and married, she lived for the kids.
And she absolutely loved that she had granddaughters because she had 3 boys, so she never had daughters to spoil.
Yes.
So she took every opportunity she had to spoil the grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
And she absolutely loved being able to go out and shop for granddaughters. Look at what I found. It's like, she'd swing by someplace, and the next thing you know, she'd have like 10 or 12 outfits, and you're like,
well, for the first 4 years of the girls' lives, we didn't have to buy clothes. In fact, there were more clothes than what they even ever wore because
they would grow so fast.
My kids ran around in just a cloth diaper and were happy as can be. I didn't dress them when they were at home. That's probably my issue now of why they run around naked. In all honesty.
Yes, hey, honey, you can't be walking around like that in front of Daddy.
Yeah.
Why?
But you do.
And then you tell, because I'm married to him.
Because I'm married to him.
This prompts another conversation.
So, yes. We recently had a child tell a boy at school, they were talking about marriage, they like each other, they're 8, let's just say. And I was told this, and I was just like, she decides to tell this little boy, because they're talking about marriage and what marriage would be, and she says, well, if we get married, you can see me naked.
And this is overheard by another kid in the class.
That didn't know the conversation of what was going on. And the teacher said, she just said it out of the blue. I said, my child definitely would not just say that out of the blue. So I asked her what the context was when she came home. And, that teacher said, although it may be true, that is not appropriate talk from children. And I was just like, Oh, leave it up to my kids, leave it up to my kids. Laughing out loud. Your face turned red. Yes, Colleen. You know, kids say the funniest things, and something like that from
Careful
school.
what you say around them, because you never know what.
I asked her, I said, where did you learn this?
You're never going to know what sticks in their head, and you never know when it's going to come out.
Well, I go,
But I
where
guarantee
did you
it'll be
learn
the
this?
most embarrassing possible thing.
And
you're
she goes,
standing
well,
there.
if we're married, then you'll see me naked. And I didn't want to be like, that's not necessarily true, but you know, I wasn't going to go there. But I asked her, I said, where did you hear this phrase? And she goes, from you and Daddy. And I look at him and I'm like, I swear to God, she's never walked into our room during our nice quality time together. But she had it in her brain that if you're married, because Mommy and Daddy are married, if you're married, then you guys get to see each other naked. And
I think it came from, you know, us trying to keep them from walking around in just their underwear now, and then them saying something about you doing it. I think that's where the phrase came out.
Colleen says they're little sponges.
Yeah, they are.
Oh gosh, yes they are.
And in some ways, that is one of the neatest things about them. And in some ways, it's one of the most horrifying things about them because, you know, that I think is one of the most important things to remember as a parent is that your kids are sponges. Mm-hmm. So what do you want them soaking up from you? So being a positive role model, being encouraging, those are the kind of things that you really need for them to do, to hear, because they're sponges. They're going to soak that up. And if they get a lot of it when they're younger, it will help them when they're older when they don't get as much of it.
DB3, we will have you come over anytime, love, for dinner. Oh, hell yes. If you ever come to Texas, babe, you can stay here. We need some family advice. We need some family advice lives. Well,
I can tell you that I'm probably going to be doing a lot more of, from personal experience, this is what you should not do. I would say that it would be good to do those kind of things, but it would have to be, we're not parenting experts. We're trial and error parents, just like everybody in real life. Anybody who says they're a parenting expert is full of crap. But if you guys want to have a live where we have a discussion amongst all of us, because the more heads we put together, the better the things we can come up with.
Yes, I so agree, DB3. He says those are important, the vulnerable stories. Well, that sparked the when our 8-year-old decided to say, if we get married, you can see me naked, to a little boy who she really likes at school and he likes her. I was just like, where in the world did they learn it from? And then when she said it was from us, I was just like...
No, she didn't say from us.
Yes, she did.
She said from you.
From me, I guess. But that sparked my girls...
Not my fault.
My girls on YouTube a lot. And they now have their own iPad because the tablets that I would always get for them didn't work as well. And I finally learned how to...
Put some parental limits.
Yeah, put parental limits on YouTube because they like to go on there and watch a lot of slime videos. They love to watch people play other video games, which is so boring to me.
Okay.
But...
It's their thing.
Yep.
I'm not going to judge them for it.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of people I know that don't like sitting and watching soccer on TV.
Yeah.
If you want me to sit down and watch a sport, soccer is probably your best bet. There's a lot of people who don't see how I could think the game is exciting when it ends up being 0-0 after 90 minutes. But that was because, I guess...
It's a good game.
It was a real tight game, great action back and forth. I was into it. Yep. They don't understand it. I get it that other people She's like, okay, I'm not that big of a fan of sitting around watching college football. Can I sit down with my friends, watch college football, and enjoy the game? Yes. Probably just like they can sit down and watch a a soccer game with me and enjoy it, but they don't get the same satisfaction from it. So I try not to judge them on this, but it's still one of those things where I'm sitting there kind of going, you don't really play video games. This is not a game you
They just
play.
love it though.
But, you know.
They're limited. They are limited on YouTube for 2 hours a day. And then I finally figured out how to, on the iPads, you can actually put downtime. And so I put down that the iPads shut down at 8 o'clock during the week so that they start getting ready for bed by 9 because they're up at 6 in the morning for school. And then on the weekends, they get it until 9 o'clock. And that's when they get to sleep in the Harry Potter closet, which makes them happy.
Of course, the youngest apparently got some hacking skills that we weren't unaware of.
Yes.
Figured it out the very first day of the new restrictions being on there. She figures out how to get in there and
add extra
time to it. And I don't even know how to add extra time to it.
That's my Freya. That's my Freya. She's actually turned the Harry Potter closet into a doctor office now. She has a box.
Okay, a little background on that.
Yeah, please tell me, because I have no idea. I just came home to a doctor office.
I have this like little blister that because it's on the inside of my finger, by my hand, and it's my dominant hand, so it constantly is getting the scab knocked off of it, so it's bleeding a lot, and it's kind of hard for me to put it on there left-handed. And she's a Band-Aid fanatic anyway, so she became my little helper putting Band-Aids on there. And then I cracked the joke when I needed to get a Band-Aid. I said, paging Dr. Freya. So she got the Band-Aid, did that, and then next thing I know, she's walking around the house gathering items into this little tote to be her little doctor bag. And Daddy, here's the sign-up sheet for when you come to my doctor office. And I'm just like, wow, she took this and ran with it.
So she's triaging you now.
And I'm trying to play along with it, as frustrating as it can be for me to like just put the dang Band-Aid on there.
She loves it.
But she got a little alcohol wipe out. She cleans it all off. And then she says it needs to dry for a minute. And then she puts the Band-Aid on it.
Mm-hmm. She's learned all those things from me.
And then
if she had boo-boo oil, she'd brought that over.
But
yet.
honestly, I think it's awesome. But
yeah,
we've got about another 25 minutes before this is going to be done, folks.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm starting to have a little bit of...
He needs to go calm himself. So, you guys.
I've reached my limit, folks. I'm sorry.
So the bread pudding is in the oven for a good 30 to 45 minutes, basically until it's cooked. So we have that going. Of course, when it comes out and we have it tonight, we will plate it. I don't know if it's going to be in the little martini glasses like the picture I shared today.
We don't have martini glasses.
No, but we have some different type of glasses up there. We can always use it.
We have one of those things that has that was the margarita as big as your face glass.
Yes, we have that. Yes, so you can always do something in that. And then we have the sauce
that one on that paddle boat, the stern wheeler there at
the
Nashville.
The General Jackson.
Showboat.
General Jackson
Showboat.
Which of course went down when Nashville had the huge flood. It took a while for it to come back. So of course we will plate it, or in this sense we will glass it. We will glass it, take a picture. I will put in the comments the recipe for this. I hope you guys find this. It really is easy to make, and it's absolutely yummy. It's a great holiday dish to have around. I can tell you, if you bring this to a party or to a family gathering,
You're going to
they're
be bringing
going to
it
love it. You're
every
going to bring it all the time.
time.
Every time. So until...
And it's not that expensive, folks. So if you're looking for something inexpensive that is going to be a big hit at your next family gathering, this is definitely a recipe to try.
Because you pretty much have everything on hand unless you don't have the alcohol.
But you can use Brandy.
Yeah.
You can use Di Serono. You know, if...
I'm not sure about anything else.
Well... What's that one that's
Amaretto.
hazelnut? Frangelico? I'm pretty sure that would work. But, you know, heck, I'm sure that if you did it with brandy, it would work. I mean...
Yeah. We
So-
just don't have brandy on hand.
But
I don't think we've ever had brandy in the house. Yeah.
The last time I had brandy was when I got a bottle of it in Mexico, which was...
So until next Friday, which we will be going live next Friday, we're going to show you, give a couple different ideas for Thanksgiving leftover meals. There's one that is a Thanksgiving lasagna. There's 1 year we made Thanksgiving roll-ups, like a spring roll.
No.
Fried.
Egg rolls.
Egg rolls. We made
egg roll wrappers.
Egg rolls of Thanksgiving stuff. I found another recipe too, but we'll be going live next week to give you some ideas for Thanksgiving leftover meals.
But
to
the
make
one
it more
we will be
interesting.
doing is going
Yes.
to be the Thanksgiving lasagna.
Yes. And I'm currently looking to possibly make cranberry sauce fresh for that. So until our next video, you guys, stay true to yourselves, be authentic, be genuine, show love to others, and of course, be kind.
Peace, love, and photography, folks. Have a good one.
All right, see you guys next week. Toodles!